Welcome back, Generals, to another Let's Fix Generals 0 Hour to make the best game ever. Last session, we did implement a fix for the dbghelp.dll boot crash on AMD drivers, but only for 0 Hour game. We still need to check tools, so let's enable... Well, first we need to go to Visual Studio Code. Yeah. Okay, so basically we still have this. Yeah. Okay, so debug help lib. Yeah, which is used by a whole bunch of things. Okay. Okay, so we want to remove all these, right? Okay, that music is trash. I need some background music here. What about this one? Is that good? Okay, so we need to remove all the debug help libs, right? But then, well, we will see what happens. Let me see. Yeah, there could be linker errors now, right? Yeah. You can just disable them. Debug help lib. Why is this not working? Oh. Okay. Good. So we have all of them commented out. Then the question is, what will happen now? Good. So we enable extras and tools and 0 hour extras and tools. Okay. Configure. Okay, so no generation error. That's already good. But I suspect there will be some compile errors or linking errors. Yeah. Okay. Good. Let's see. We're doing release first without any debugs. And then we enable debug and check that. Yeah. it actually didn't fail. Okay, that's surprising. Okay, let's compile it with debug. Oh, it already is compiled with debug. Okay. Huh. Okay, that is unexpected. I expected some errors. Huh. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Maybe. For some reason I cannot rename this here. Maybe a better name would be, I mean, there should be like a temporary somewhere in there, right? Because it reverts the file name, so file temp renamer, temporary renamer. Maybe we can scoped file renamer. Scope file renamer. I think that's a good name. Okay, then let's create a new file. Here. Good. So we call this scoped file renamer. Okay. And then here we create a scoped file renamer. .cpp. Oh, that's a folder suddenly. That's not what I intended. Okay. So we need that, and then we also need a new file for the namespace stl. For the channels and the code. For the allocator. Namespace RTS. Oh. It's include common. Include common. Game client. Client instance. Common. str. Okay, I would say we create a new file called malloc allocator cpp. Now let me check if such a thing doesn't already exist somewhere. Malloc allocator. We're looking for looking for an allocate function or deallocate construct function. Yeah. Let's search for constructs. There's an allocator here, fast allocator. Okay. Yeah. Fast STL allocator. Okay, what does that do? Oof. Let me search for constructs. Let's search for constructs. Okay, so the fast allocator is the only custom allocator in the engine, and that's in wwlib. Okay. Char alloc. Fast STL allocator. Destroy. Construct. Okay, and what does this allocator do here? Fast allocator. It uses new. Okay. No, I think it's fine. We have our malloc allocator, which I think is fine. Malloc allocator. Okay. Then let's put the same in the include. Yeah. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Then we search for this. Okay, so we want to put in the new malloc allocator H, and that should go where? Malloc allocator, mel here. Malloc allocator. Okay. And debug help loader cpp. System. Common system. What folders do we have here? RTS. System. Yeah, I think system probably fits. It's audio ini RTS system thing. Yeah, I think we can put them in system, yeah. So that would be in here. So we take a copy of this guy and move it here. Malloc allocator, and then we also need the scope file renamer. Scoped goes in here. Scope file renamer, scoped ss scope mutex, scoped file renamer. Oh, hold on, where's the scope mutex.cpp then? Huh. Let me see that. Scope mutex cpp, there's none. Okay, it's a header. Okay. Good. Then we got that. Let's compile so that we get those files here in view. Okay. Good to see that there's some movement on the launcher. Yeah. Good. Then okay. Okay. So then we need to open the malloc allocator here. And we have too many files open now. Let me close files. To get the view a little bit cleaner here. Which takes a while because we have 117 tabs open. And that makes Visual Studio extra slow. Good, so we have that. We have the dbghelp loader. We open this guy. And we have the, what was the other thing? The file renamer or something. Scope file renamer. There we go. Good. So then we go here, we take this, and we put that here. So there's a pragma once. I put that here. Okay, then we go to include scoped file renamer .h in common. Yeah. Good. And here we do this and this and this. Okay. And this one includes the malloc allocator. Okay. Good. The malloc allocator we probably will want to have in namespace stl, right? Namespace stl. Okay. And the scope file renamer doesn't matter. Okay, so then in our dbghelp loader we take our malloc. I just realized this is a template class, so this one will not have a CPP file. Okay. Good, then we take this guy and we put it here in this STL. Allocators of same times are always equal. Throw. Oof. Okay. CSD lib malloc free. Size t ptr diff bad alloc. New. Bad alloc. Okay. Okay, so the includes I need to go outside. Okay, so Good. Then here we include the malloc allocator .h. Yeah. And then that one will be here, stl malloc allocator. Maybe we add some text here. STL allocator that uses malloc. Yeah. That uses malloc and free. Useful if allocations are meant to bypass new deletes. New and delete. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if this will compile on VC6, but we will see. Okay, fair enough. Now, malloc allocator, we can actually delete. We don't need that. So let me go here and remove that file. So we can also malloc allocator. Here, we can remove that. I have no idea what's going on here. Did we touch that? Hold on. Oh, we did somehow. How did that happen? How did this happen here? I can't recall having this touched. Interesting. Well, that works. Okay. So there's that. Then we can close this one. Okay, so file name, we open W3D display. And we search for this guy, scope file renamer. Okay. Let's take this guy and we put him here. So this guy uses ASCII string. ASCII string. ASCII string. Okay. Good. So we have this guy, and we clean up first. Okay. Revert. Okay. That makes the whole thing a little bit simpler to look at. Okay. Then class, we remove that. Put that here. Good, so we have all that. That looks good. Now there will be, we will have missing stuff, right? Includes pre-RTS.h. Yeah. This file here requires stdio. What is this file? Struct. Okay. Okay. Includes stdio.h. All right. Here we have a mistake. Okay. Good. Okay, I wonder if let's see if it compiles to begin with. Probably not, because here we need to include debug help loader, scope file renamer, scoped file renamer, S, yeah, okay, okay, let's see if that compiles. Okay, I actually did compile. Okay. So, scope file renamer. Okay, so the malloc allocator looks good to me. There's nothing I would change about that. If it compiles in VC6. Is it necessary to do a static cast here? Placement new. New buff T. Yeah. Unsigned sharp buff. Buff new. Why is the static cast necessary here? Let me ask the chat GPT. Regarding the malloc allocator, is it necessary to do the static cast in that? The static cast? Great question. Yes, in C++ 98 and beyond, the static cast is necessary and correct, even though it may seem redundant. Yeah. Why the cast is needed? Placement here, it tells the compiler construct an object at the specified memory address, but that address must be of type void. If you do that, you're relying on a compiler extension or undefined behavior, because the standard defines the placement new operator as so passing a T directly is non-standard compliant. A placement version of the new expression requires that the first argument is of type void. Okay. Okay, I had no idea. Okay. Well, in that case, we also need to do placement new in here. Here. So we do void p inst, right? And then what about free? What about free? What about free? Do we need to pass voids? Do we need to, what about calling std free? Does that also require passing voids? No, does not require, but accepts any pointer. Okay. 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 Weird rules. This is surprising to me that we need to cast to void here. Yeah, that's weird. We could also put std malloc directly in here. We wouldn't even need to have p there. I think it's fine this way. Okay. Okay. Then what's next? Blah 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 blah. Okay. There's one more question. Do we maybe have already better replacements for move file A and so on? Because this is very this is Windows specific. Move file. Okay, we are actually the first ones to call that. Oof. the first ones to call that. That's weird. What is the best way to rename a file in VC6? What's the best way to rename a file in a program compiled with VC6 on Windows? Move file. Yeah, that's what we just have used. Yeah. Avoid rename. This works, but it's limited to ANSI pass, no Unicode. It's part of the C runtime. Its behavior depends on how VC6 CRT handles file locking. It may not give you fine-grained error info like get last error. Works. ANSI only, limited use. Rename. But rename is portable then. Maybe we should use rename. Then at least we wouldn't need. Yeah, then we wouldn't need Windows here, right? Yeah. Yeah. You can try rename. What does it return? Integer. Oof. Rename function return. Rename. Oof. Return value. Each of the function returns 0 if it's successful. Oof. Okay. So 0 is a typical bullshit. Why is 0 success? Okay. 0. Okay. Okay. Rename. Okay, well now this rename clashes with this rename, sort of, right? Well, apart from being called in a global scope. Rename, yeah. Yeah. I guess it's fine. Okay, std.io. It would be nice if we could forward declare this file here. Well, it's probably already in pre-RTS, right? std.io. No? std.io. std.io adapter. It would be nice if we could forward declare this, but it's a weird type, so yeah. Does not look straightforward. I will keep it. Okay, good. That looks fine. I'm happy with the scope file renamer, if it works. I wonder if we should give this a different name here, because if it collides, like it has the same name as this one. It's not technically not a problem, but it's a bit confusing because someone looking at this might think that this will call this rename, when in fact it actually does not. So maybe rename. 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 Maybe we should also rename this to old name. Oh. Visual Studio is stuck by the looks of it. Oh, that's a shame. Why is it stuck? Oh, it is stuck somehow. Oof. Maybe we should restart Visual Studio. Okay. Okay, somehow it doesn't work here. Rename. Weird. Well, then we have to do it the old-fashioned way. Or we use this feature. Maybe that works. I don't trust it. Oh, now it works. Old name. New name. Old name. root name, new name. Okay, so that is renamed the TMP. Let's rename this to TMP name. TMP name. Return value ignored. Success equals 0 equals that. Success. What are we saying? If success. Success is true. Okay. I guess it's fine. Rename. I guess we can clarify this by typing this rename. Yeah, then it's a bit clearer. Okay, that's good. This also looks good to me. Okay, here this one certainly is Windows specific. Now the question is here, can we get rid of the windows.h in the header? It has here these Windows specific types. Let's ask ChatGPT. Is there a header for Windows that we can include and get type defs like dword, bool, etc.? Yes. WinDev. That sounds more like it. Okay, let me remove this here. WinDev. Yeah, and I think set we can. Yeah, set we should probably keep in here. Base type. Okay. And Win API, where do we get that? Min WinDiff. Maybe it's in the same core. Let's see if I'm compiled. It works. I would just go with that for now. Should be good enough, I guess. We can probably remove a bunch of things, like this one is probably already coming in with pre-RTS and so on. Yeah. Doesn't matter much, I guess. Good. Okay, this looks very promising. Is there anything else we can polish? I think we need to remove this stuff here. Debug help. Yeah, let's clean that up. Okay. Okay. Good. And then we can compile it once more. No, let's check if there's anything else we need to do. So this one looks clean, good. Okay, here we have a pragma. This is an unrelated investigation. Good, here we need to clean up. Unblock loads. Okay, so here. There's one more thing. Yeah, but we can already remove this. There's one more thing in debug help loader. Some cleanup. Here, this one. Add to do. Cleanup. Use STL. Find and erase. Okay. Good. So this looks good. This one, there is a pragma optimize off here. Stack dump. Stack dump. Stack dump. Stack dump. There we go. Okay, debug help loader, debug. If not init, symbol info return. It's loaded, return. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Good, 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 good. All right. What is this? Yeah, it's unrelated. Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. On the malloc allocator, we can also put a space here. Okay, I think this change looks pretty good. I think we can also remove this here, the debug help entirely. We don't need that anymore. Yeah. So we just remove that. And I think we can also remove the CMake file then. So that will be here in dependencies. No, in CMake. CMake, debug help, CMake. Yeah. There we go. Okay, fantastic. Then let's run this one more time to see if it works correctly. So here we have our debug help DLL. It's placed in there, and we can launch. We can launch the game. We have a debug compiled in. With stack tracing? With stack tracing. Okay, that's why it takes a bit longer. Okay. 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 Then we disable the stack trace and this one. And we build a pure release. Okay. Then we build that. And then the last test is building it against VC6 to see what compile errors we get. Okay, a couple of things. Here we should add a comment to our class. First, what it does. The debug. This class can load and unload the debug help.dll. It must use this static class. It must internally, it must use internally, it must not use new and delete, because it can be used during game memory initialization, because it can be created during game memory initialization. Okay. Then there's one more thing I saw here. We should probably use the 2-character indentation. Okay. I don't know if this throw thing here will work in VC6. We will see. I think this will not compile. That's a new language thing. Yeah. Good. But it looks good otherwise. Then let me stage where we currently have. So this looks good. This looks good. Good. The general stuff we don't take yet, but the core we do. And this one. Yeah, hello. Okay. This one. This. There we go. Okay, good. Then let me get the VC6 command prompt. CMD. Good. So cd. Debug crashing, debug logging. We put that to default. Can we actually put this twice here? Is that possible? Good. While we wait for that, we can also test other things that use I'm surprised that other things use the debug help lib. I guess because they use stack dump, right? Let me see. Who's using stack dump? Stack dump. World Builder is using it. Okay, let's try to start World Builder then. World Builder. Just see if it launches here. Okay, let's go. Okay, that didn't work. I guess because it doesn't launch it from the game directory, right? We need to launch it in here. Commands. World Builder. Here. This one. Can probably use it on all configurations. There we go. There we go. Okay. Let's try that. It's the first time we launch it. Okay. And crash. Oh shit. Okay. Okay, does World Builder use a different path to create the device? Or what is it doing? Oh, it does. Look at that. It does. Okay. Init W3D. Set render device. Then we need to put the hack around this one here, right? Or the fix. The hack fix. Good. Let's try that. Where is it? Here. Yeah. can we if we have to repeat the same fix again, then maybe it would be nice to put that in another class so it's reusable. Yeah. Let's think. Okay, how about we create another file and we call it debug help guard. Debug help guard. CPP. Yeah. Debug help guard.h. Okay. Then we search for this. Okay. Then we create this. Then create that. Okay. Then we put a bookmark here. Okay. Then we compile. Then we move that code into a new class, debug help guard, so that we can reuse it here as well and any other place that requires this. Yeah. I wonder. Another thing we could do is we could put it in here maybe. W3D. Who's calling this? This init. GUI edits is calling it. Yeah. Word builder is calling it. Yeah. And this one is calling it. Yeah. I think it would be better if it was actually in here, right? In the init function and in select device or whatever. Set render device. Yeah, this one. Now the problem is all the code we have just added is not available in Vegas because that one cannot see engine. Ugh. Um, or can it? Yeah, so we have word builder, GUI edits, W3D view. So at least 3 tools. Yeah. At least 3 tools. That's not too much. Yeah. but it needs to span. It needs to span. Yeah, but having it closer, I guess, makes sense. Yeah, maybe. Okay, before we continue this investigation, I think it would be beneficial to have these closer, sitting closer to the actual device creation. Because then it doesn't matter who is calling it, it just always works correctly, right? Yeah. So the only downside is that we need to call it twice, right? So the file rename would happen twice, but I think that's not the end of the world. The convenience, I think, is better. Okay. I need water. Okay. Okay, so first we build a guard. So let's see, debug help guards. Good. So we put that here, and here. Good. Then we do a pragma once. Then we do a display here. Then we take these guys. Let's first do a class debug help guards. Okay, and then in here we will have constructor, destructor, and will be public, and we will have a we have a deactivate and a activates. Activates, reactivates, deactivate, reactivate. Okay, so that's a void and a void. Okay. Good. Then here. Okay. So we include the debug help guard.h. Oops. Okay. right. Okay. Dun, dun, okay. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. All right. Then we do that and that. Here we do common. Okay. Good. So we have that. Then we do okay, and then we take this guy and we put it here. The debug help guard unloads debug and prevents it from loading during its lifetime. This class unloads debug help. This avoids crashing on boot using to load and use debug help. This helps avoids crashing on boot using recent AMD, which attempt to load and use debug help from the game install directory, but are unable to do so correctly. Okay. Temporarily prevent it from loading. Okay, then let's get back here. So we include debug help loader and scoped file renamer, right? Okay, so we have a private debug help loader. Debug help loader doesn't need to be here. This one can go into the CPP. Okay. Deactivates. Reactivates. Okay. Debug help renamer. Then we do a m debug help renamer. Okay. M debug help renamer. Reactivates. Reverts. Unblock loads. Okay. Unload is loaded. Maybe we should also say M was loaded. Bool lib base type. Why don't we just use bool? Bool. I don't know. Include pre-RTS.h. Okay. Then here we can say M was loaded. True. Then we say here if M was loaded, debug help loader loads. Okay. Okay, so this should now allow us to call here. We remove this one and this one, and instead we put the debug help guard. Yeah. And then we put that guy here. Debug help guard. Say temporarily unload debug help, prevent it from loading. And then here at the end we would then do reactivate. Okay, this way it's now reusable. Let's see if that compiles. Yeah. Now the problem is, oh, it doesn't compile. Okay. So we do need to include base type, is that right? Always? That's weird. ASCII string. ASCII string. Includes ASCII string. This one lives in common. I don't quite understand why we need to include base type in one, but not the other. That's weird. That's weird. Yeah. Probably need some cleanup and some time. Well, including ASCII string probably includes base type already, right? Yeah, already does. It looks like we can also include it like this. Scope file renamer. Okay, let's try that. Okay. Okay, that works. Then let's think about next steps. How do we get it closer to the to init to this init here? As far as I'm aware, we cannot include here we cannot include common and then debug help guard, right? Or can we? No, it doesn't see that. So we would have to add these files to the wwlib. Ugh. 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 Let's see. Okay. Then how about we do that? So the wwlib, where's that? Core, libraries, source, Vegas, wwlib. Good, and then we need to copy these guys in here. And then we take the these guys and put them in here as well. And then we search for registry CPP and we here wwlib source. Okay. Okay. Then we put in the debug help guard. Debug debug here. Debug help guard cpph. Okay. Then the loader. .cpp. Ah, Jesus Christ. Okay. And the scope file renamer. Okay. Scoped. S, 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 SC. There we go. Scope file renamer and the header. And the malloc. The malloc allocator. A mem dm here. Malloc allocator. Okay. Okay, so these guys, and we put them there. Now the question is, will this compile or will there be now conflicts? Could be simple conflicts now, right? Let's see. Error. Right. Okay, here we remove that. Don't save. Okay, it cannot see the base type. Okay. Always.h. Is this type not used by at Vegas? Seems it's not used by Vegas. Okay, fair enough. Then we just say int. Always.h, is that included in the header or the CPP? Header. Okay. Int. Bool. Bool. Includes win.h. Okay, debug help guards. Boom. Always always to the H. I think one day we need to merge Vegas into the engine. They need to become one, otherwise it's stupid. The separation is stupid. Because Vegas cannot see game engine, so it cannot share files, which is stupid. Pre-RTS. Ciao. Ciao. Includes always .h. This one uses ASCII string. Ciao, 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 ciao. I'll use a CD string here. Include string. Ciao, ciao. CSTR. CD string. Appends. Empty. Bool. Bool. Empty. Okay. Then let me see the malloc allocator in core. Looks okay. But error. Oof. Win in T. What is this? What? What is this? Bool. Okay, I don't know what that is. No target architecture. What the hell is that? Okay, I don't understand this error. What happens if we simply include windows.h? Include windows.h. Also doesn't work. Let me search for that error. Use win instead of WinDev. Okay, so including WinDev is not healthy, which we have done somewhere. Here. Okay. Okay. So maybe we include win.h here. Oops. Win.h. Oh, that was the wrong header. It's supposed to be included here. Okay, how about we do that? Doesn't work. Okay, why not? Okay, so for some reason I cannot see the Windows stuff here. Windows.h. Okay, how hard can it be? Okay, let's search for that error. Okay, no one else has this problem. Why? Okay, why does it have troubles here? Loader. We want to include win.h. And we need to include Windows H before that one. Oh, I see. The order matters. So how about we do win.h here? Must be included after windows.h. Okay, so that works. And then basically what we would do now is the help guard, which is currently placed in here. So we would remove that. And we would take that call. Yeah. This call. And we would place it in here in ww3d init here in wrapper init. Oh, Jesus Christ. Wrapper init. So a call would have to be in here. Yeah, here. Help guards. Yeah. Okay. And for some reason it does not find it because we have not included the help guards. Okay. Include debug help guards. Debug help guards. Yeah. Okay. And the other place is create device, right? Create device. Set render device. Set render device here. Set render device. There must be somewhere a call to create device. Create device, this one. Yeah. HR. Good, then we do HR and put that here. And we create a scope here. Now I put that here, HR equals that. Like that. Okay. This class temporarily unloads dbghelp.dll and prevents it from loading during its lifetime. This helps avoid crashing on boot. Crashing on boot using recent AMD drive. This workaround is not required if the debug help was loaded from the system directory. Okay. So my hope is that this now applies to all tools, everything. All the tools the game and we don't need to place it individually for each tour, which is better. Yeah, I think. The only downside is it now will have to do the renaming twice and the unloading twice, right? Yeah, because once for the direct create and then create device. Yeah, there's 2 calls. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good. Then let's see if that works. So we have the word builder here. Okay, accept terms. Okay, that launches. Now we don't see shit, but that's another issue. Yeah, that's another issue. Okay, good. Let's double check that in game. Set a startup project. Let me double check here the debug help. Debug help, yeah. Works. Okay, cool. Then we can do that. Now we have moved all the files pretty much to www.lib. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so we need to remove this then. And we do add this. Let me see this here. Okay, here we can remove this. Create device. Why is this written like this here, this call? What is this? Oh, they write all the calls like that. Okay, never mind then. Never mind. Okay, debug help got here. Yeah, okay, so this looks good to me. This one we need to clean up. This one we do later. Yeah, then we need to stage all these guys. And yeah, we need to unstage this and all these guys, unfortunately. Yeah. Yeah, the issue is in Vegas, so I guess it makes sense that we add these things to Vegas. And okay. Okay, this looks good down here. Yeah. Then let's Okay, I'm a bit confused here. Let me unstage this. This all. Something is not right. Okay, so we need to remove these files, right? Hopefully I don't break anything here. Yeah. Okay, we also reset this. Okay. Then let's compile this one more time and see if it still works correctly. Yeah. Good. What's the time? 2 hours 20. Yeah, I think it's time for a break soon. Oof. Okay, there's one compile error. But maybe that's just transients. No, it's there. Stack dump. Ah, right. Stack dump needs access to debug help loader. Can we get it from www.lib? I hope so. Like this? Oh yeah, okay, I can see it. Oh, that's good. Then I will add it here. Okay, luckily Game Engine can see www guys. At least something, right? Yeah. Yeah. Good. So let's debug. Stack dump, yeah. I can probably remove this here again then. Okay, cool. I'm very happy with this fix. Yeah, this was a very popular problem over the years, because yeah, basically, like for a noob user who just wants to run the game, like he can't do it because he won't know that debug help DLL crashes the game, right? So it is a major problem. It's a blocker bug, right? For the average user that just wants to run the game, but it just won't launch on your hardware because it just crashes. And the message box, it doesn't tell you where this crash comes from, right? It doesn't say, yeah, debug help DLL is crashing. It doesn't say that, right? So yeah, and it was quite tricky to fix. A lot of workarounds necessary, yeah. Okay, I will take a break here. Then next session I will prepare a pull request for it. I won't replicate it in... Well, we could replicate it. Yeah, I think we can replicate it in general because really there's not much to replicate actually, right? There's not much to replicate to begin with because it just affects stack dump and dx8 wrapper. Yeah, let's keep it here for now. Yeah, we can replicate it another time. Maybe. Well, we can do it. Good. I will take a break here. I wish you a great day or night. Until next time. Goodbye.